Hello, hello. How are y'all? Happy Friday. I wanted to get on earlier. Schedule got a little tied up, but I made it. I made it, and it's Friday. My name is Chiante Jones, and I'm a financial coach, and I'm also the founder of Dollars and Change. And I help professional women create more financial flexibility by eliminating credit card debt. So today I wanted to come on and talk about why it's time to get your money together. Now is the time to get your money together. So one thing the coronavirus has surely shown us is that it's time to get stuff together. If you wasn't thinking about it before, a lot of people have been impacted financially by the coronavirus. So it's time to get it together now. It's time, to eliminate the debt, get some savings, make sure you're living within your means and have reasonable expenses. We didn't anticipate a global pandemic like this. I mean, nobody was expecting this, but there have been other things that have happened. We had the Great Recession. We've had government shutdowns, and as a federal employee myself, you think you're secure, but you can still run into some issues as well with the government shutdown. And so there's always a level of uncertainty. So it's not just because of now with the coronavirus that all of a sudden everything is uncertain. So the uncertainty might be at a higher level, but there's always a level of uncertainty there, and things can always happen. You can even have your own personal crisis. So it may not be something that's impacting the broader world or community or industry. But if you have your own personal crisis, you have a major house repair, car repair, something that happens with your job. I mean, it may be stable most of the time, but it's not guaranteed. Something can happen at any time. It's an accident can happen, a health concern with you or a family member. So you can always face your own personal crisis, I'll say, regardless of what's going on elsewhere in the world. So there's always a level of uncertainty around, not just because now the coronavirus is here, but the level of uncertainty has definitely increased with the coronavirus. So if you haven't been thinking about it before, now it's definitely time to think about, where you're at with your money and what you want to do with it. So, and if any of those things happen, like you have your own personal crisis, how are you positioned to handle that? Can you handle that? How do you want to be positioned? If your money is tied up paying, credit card debt or some other bills or debt, it doesn't leave much space to do anything else with, and it takes away from being able to prepare for uncertainty. And just having some money there is, having something is better than nothing. So it provides a certain level of, certain peace of mind that if something does happen, you won't be totally devastated by it. And you can't prepare for everything. Like I said, who knew this global pandemic would happen? But it's better to have something rather than nothing. And another reason why it's important to, get your money together, and it's time to get your money together, is that, being tied up with credit card debt or other debt, it keeps you living in the past. If you're still paying for stuff that doesn't even matter anymore, that handbag that you had to have that you don't even carry anymore, or that happy hour that you went to that's long past, or those clothes that you had to have that you don't wear anymore, or let's be honest, don't even fit anymore. So yeah, all of that. I mean, or even that trip, I love going on a good trip too, going traveling or whatever, but I mean, if it's years ago, you always have the memories, but like, do you really still want to be paying on that, years later? No, you're ready to go on another trip, especially now with being quarantined and cooped up in the house all this time. I'm ready to go somewhere. I'm sure you are too. But you don't want to be sitting there paying on old trips, old purchases, stuff that's in your past, and that rather be using that money for other things now. And really, as we get older, our priorities change. If you have kids, parents, there's certain things you might have to take care of with your parents or your family, or just for yourself. Like you learn some new things about yourself and realize that you have interests that lie in other things, or there's other things you want to do for yourself. Like, if you have all your money tied up paying on, old debts, that accumulated from your 20s, and here you are trying to clean that up and tying up your money now for that old stuff. I mean, that's not a place where you want to be. We don't want to be stuck, paying on decisions from our 20s. But the thing is, like, the time to decide to do that is now. I mean, it will take some time and effort to be able to clean that up and, get things back the way you want them to be. But the sooner you start, the faster you can get there. And something else to think about is we want to be ready for whatever comes along. Like, you want to be ready to make the money move if you need to. and take advantage of things. So right now with the coronavirus, everybody's not struggling, you know, and a lot of professional people are just, you know, working from home. So it's not that your income has necessarily been impacted, but you may just be working differently, and you know, your day-to-day life is different. So you're doing things differently, but your income may be fine. But if you, but there are always people who prosper in situations like this. Somebody is winning right now because of the way things are, you know, whether that's, you know, investing in the markets or whatever else. I mean, I actually was able to do this myself with the recession when with buying our last house. So we weren't at the time, we weren't actively looking for a house. My husband and I, we had talked about it, but it was really something we were looking to do a little bit further down the road. And but you know, I was browsing, looking at houses. Am I the only one that does that? Like just browse and look at houses online? Realtor.com. I just like to look at houses anyway. So I was just doing my normal thing, and I came across a house that appeared to be significantly underpriced based on, you know, the size of the house, the features of the house, and everything. So of course I was, you know, intrigued by it. I was like, what's wrong with it? Why is it priced this way? And while I was looking at it, I just happened to be on the phone with my husband, and told him like jokingly, like, yeah, I think I just found a house we're gonna buy. And lo and behold, we like literally bought that house. And you know, just not necessarily on a whim, but like we weren't like, let's say, expecting to buy it right then, but because things were positioned well enough to where we could afford to do that, we were able to buy that house and end up selling it, you know, years later for 75,000 more than we purchased it for. It ended up being a short sale. It was underpriced, you know, given the market at that time. And so we were able to, like I said, once the market came back, sell it for a significant increase. And then we were able to use that to purchase our current house that we live in now. And, you know, had we not been prepared to make that initial purchase, we wouldn't have been able to do some of the things we have been able to do with our current house. And so, like, you know, the decisions build on one another. One thing leads to the next. So that's why it's important to, you know, get your money together. And you just never know what may come up. And so it's not only about preparing for the uncertainty of something bad happening, but it's also about preparing to take advantage of something that good that comes along. So like I said, I won't stay on my soapbox too long today. I just wanted to make sure I got on here today and caught up with you guys and checked in. But if you have any questions about anything, want to talk about anything, want to chat, shoot me a message. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm about to relax. I'm glad the weather has warmed up, so I'm about to maybe go for a walk or something, get a little sunshine. But I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a great weekend.